Alright, for those of you who are wondering, well, like if I'm camping, where are you going to be camping at? I've got no planned campsite right now, but it's going to be around the general area there where the meetup point is. I mean, from right there you can look, you got a pretty good view all the way around. We're not going to be parked miles away anywhere or back in the canyon or behind a bush or nothing like that. We'll be out in the open there. Keep an eye out for my truck. It's I mean, it's quite, you can't miss it, right? Silver with a black shell. Chevy Colorado. Like I said, there's some other people that said they're going to be camping out there Friday. I'm going to try and meet up with them. If it gets dark and some of you are out there, I may leave one of my little beacons out on top of the truck overnight. So let me see. Let's see if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I got these little LED flares. I'll probably put one out on top of the truck like that. So if you are coming in at night, I'll leave that on there so you can find us, because I'm sure there's going to be, typically on this weekend there's a lot of campers out there, so yeah, you should be able to see that. Easily identifiable. Because I've been out there at night looking for people. You pull into people's camps and they're looking at you strange, like, who's this guy? And it's like, oh shit, it's not even them, you know? Especially people with RVs. All the RVs look alike. It's like, can't find you guys. Alright, so that ought to work. Alright guys, so I'm using this off my my PC. I just got the camera in front of it here, and hopefully it comes out. It's directly onto the screen, see? So I'm thinking I had this run set up for Saturday, and so just to explain things very simply, the meetup point is down here with the green. There's a little green pin right here. And originally, we would head out from there across railroad tracks all the way out to Crucero out here. And then take Crucero Road, and then the desert megaphones around this area right here. And then we'll continue on for about maybe another 4 miles. And then we'll hit the Tidewater and Tonopah Railroad tracks. What's left of the tracks. There's nothing left but the wood, the piles. What the hell do you call those again? Anyway, but for those of you who want to go out there, check it out, take some pictures. Hopefully the weather's nice, because it should be pretty nice and clear, hopefully. And from there, we double back and we cut across this BLM trail here, right by this little lake. That's where the Bacon Ranch is, the landing field, Bacon Strip Ranch. That might be a little muddy there, but we shall see, right? It's a desert. How muddy can it be? So from then, we gain some elevation. These are hills right here, so that's just muddy right there. We'll head on out, up, gaining some elevation, and there's a power line road. Let's see, where's the power line road? Anyway, we're going to catch a power line road about right here and follow the power lines out to where they cross over the railroad tracks, because that's where the crossing is. Guess for servicing the power lines, I assume. And then from there, we follow the railroad tracks a little further down, and we cut across out to the Devil's Playground, which is this red pin right here. So now from there, the original plan is to head on out across by the Old Dad Mountains here. Across the Old Dad Mountains, and then double back. But then we'd have to cross Soda Dry Lake, and from what I hear, Soda Dry Lake isn't dry. Okay, so we're going to cancel that. Okay, see, that's why this is in red. I'm going to cancel that for now, and we'll double back here at this red pin through some hills here. These are pretty much sand dunes in here, so that should be pretty interesting. Trying to make this interesting, you know, without putting us all at a in the middle of a dry mud hole out here, or a wet mud hole. So this should be interesting. Crossing here, the power lines run through here. Although it's sandy, and a lot of times the trail is gone. But it's all doable. We did it before in a stock F-150 and my F-250. We lost the trail, but it was no big deal. You just follow power lines through. Cuts through the hills there. Back to the railroad tracks, and then we'll follow the railroad tracks all the way back. It's a little wet through there, so that might be a little interesting. And for those of you who want to pick up some insulators. If you've seen my older video out there, they're ripping out the old telegraph lines out there, and there was, as of last month, these insulators and the poles are still out there in piles. Last I heard, they're still out there. So if you're into collecting those, that was a clear one, but there's a lot of green ones out there. And you got to pick them off the poles, though, so that might be a little dangerous. You don't want one of them telephone poles to fall on you. So anyway, that's between out here. So we got a long way all the way back. That should take some time. Like I said, it might be muddy, it might not. You never know. Out around here somewhere is that gravesite, Dolores Holland, I believe. Right there somewhere, yeah. Or over there. Somewhere around here. But then, that'll give us a chance to do Afton Canyon, too. So that ought to be interesting, because the water is flowing out through Afton Canyon right now. It's just a stream. The deep part is the crossing out by Afton Canyon Campground. That's all the way on the end. So that'll be interesting. You know, we'll go up one side of the canyon. We'll stop at the cave, they call it, or Spooky Canyon. That ought to take some time. Continue on all the way out to where the campground is, so you guys can check out the water crossing there. Maybe somebody will cross it, you know. We'll dare you. We'll give them a few beers or something. And there's another gravesite up here. It's got 3 banditos or somebody are buried up in the hills here. It's within walking distance. And there's also some cisterns up here too, catch the water. But anyway, then we can cut back and check out different things and investigate. You know, there's different routes through the canyon. All the way back out that canyon, and then if things work out right, I'll take you guys all the way up around the mountain here, up to the top of the cliffs, and that might take all day. That's what I'm assuming. I did a quick estimate of the mileage, and that's about 70 miles, so that's just about equal to the original plan, which went all the way around and back. So it all depends on time and who's around. Sunday we can drive out to Razor Road. Razor Dunes are right here. You guys want to play around in the dunes? And there's a lot of off-roading in these hills around here. This is all open area, legal to ride anywhere you want. And then we can head on out to the dry lake and see what the dry lake looks like. And by then, who knows what time it's going to be, you know? Some people may want to head home, and so Razor Road is right here. Razor Road goes right back to the highway, and there you go. Off you go. Or you might want to drive around to Zizig's and check out Zizig's. But yeah, or there's some trails out here I was looking at. If you saw one of my videos it's called Devil's Trails, Devil Ruins Trail, and it goes off out here somewhere. We'll see what's out there. There's an old cabin out here by Razor Road. I really can't remember. I know it's changed a lot since I've been out there last, so we'll just see what happens. But there's a quick update. I'm keeping an eye on the weather because I want to head on out there tomorrow morning. So we'll just see what happens and who's out there. I know one other guy sent me a message, says he'll be out there Friday evening. Got another message out there. Guy wants to know if we're still going. Okay, yes, I'm trying to update everything. That's right now, because it's 5:45. I don't want to wait too long. I got one guy, he says he's driving out from Central California. Hey, turn on the lights. Yeah. Jewel Lake. He's driving in from like Central California, I think. Or Northern California. Friday. And George S. wanted to come along, but he's going, he had a plan to go pheasant hunting or something. But he's got to drive. He says he's driving out to Nevada from somewhere out there in Central California. We'll see how everybody's drive is. Hopefully, like I said, it starts winding down a little bit. Don't want nobody out there driving in dangerous conditions. Right? Right. I'm gonna take the handicap parking right there. Whew. Holy smokes. I hope there's no freaky people living here. Let's say there was a gorilla right here. Somebody threw the gorilla down. Look at, oh, Mr. Gorilla. What's wrong with people? Mr. Gorilla was sitting right here in this bowl. Gee. I say put a roof on it. It doesn't need windows, just shutters, and it's good to go. Fix the floor.